I am a foreigner. I came to Vietnam and I fell in love with the people and the scenery here. Therefore, I want to buy a house here in Vietnam to live in long term. I have heard that in order to buy a house in Vietnam, I need to have a Vietnamese person register the property under their name on behalf of me. Is this true? If this is not the case, then what conditions must foreigners like me meet in order to buy a house in Vietnam? Thank you. Based on what you mentioned in your question, I can assume that you are a foreign individual, not an organization, who wants to buy a house to live in Vietnam. Let me go through 4 key points that you need to know. Number 1, are foreigners allowed to own property in Vietnam? The answer is yes. According to Article 8 of the 2023 Housing Law, the entities allowed to own property in Vietnam include domestic organizations, Vietnamese nationals residing abroad, and foreign individuals and organizations as stated in Clause 1, Article 17. Therefore, foreign individuals are allowed to own property in Vietnam. However, as per Point C, Clause 1, Article 17 of the 2023 Housing Law, only foreign individuals who are allowed to enter Vietnam is permitted to own property here. This means not all foreigners can buy property in Vietnam. Only those who are allowed to enter the country can do so. In summary, since you are a foreigner allowed to enter Vietnam, you can own property here in Vietnam. And you do not need to have a Vietnamese person register the property in their name for you. Number 2, what types of property can foreigners own? There has been a significant change in the 2023 Housing Law compared to the previous 2014 Housing Law. Previously, the 2014 Housing Law only allowed foreigners to buy apartments. However, the 2023 Housing Law has expanded the scope, allowing foreigners to own villas and townhouses as well. Number 3, how long can foreigners own property in Vietnam? The answer is you can own property for a maximum of 50 years, starting from the date of issuance of House Ownership Certificate, aka Red Book. When the ownership period expires, you can apply for an extension for another 50 years. Therefore, in total, you can own a property in Vietnam for up to 100 years. Number 4, can you sell the property? The answer is, of course. You can sell the property anytime you want, as long as it is before the expiration of the ownership period I have mentioned above. Additionally, there are other conditions that need to be met, but I will not mention them here as they are quite detailed. You should pay attention to these conditions only when you actually start the process of buying a property. In conclusion, owning property in Vietnam as a foreigner has become much easier and more convenient. If you decide to buy a house here in Vietnam and you need legal assistance to ensure a smooth transaction and to protect your rights, feel free to contact us. I wish you a comfortable life in Vietnam.